Like, it's all chess. You know what I mean? And when you first get in this shit, you don't understand it. But as you keep going, you start understanding, like, oh no, I ain't even gotta like you to do a song with you. We really just feeding off each other.
Business.
Type shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somebody like Gucci, so you knew him before?
Yeah, I've been on Gucci since I was like 18.
Because I'm thinking, so he represented what more like...
He's on 6.
But like, let me say, Sun Valley.
They're a little further east than we is. Like, just a little bit, you know, about a mile or two.
Oh, okay, so it's
2,
still
3
close
miles.
though, okay.
It's still zone 6.
I'm thinking it's spread out.
Nah, it ain't too far. They right there. All of us right there together.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So
it's all the east side.
Man, so around that time, like, how did you, was it music related or more so like in the trenches when you connected with Gucci, like a young Gucci? You said you 18, so yeah.
Before he was even cracking, before Gucci even popped off and shit like that, like, all of us used to be over at Never Again Records, who he was signed to first. You know what I mean? So all of us making music and doing shit together back then, even before the song Black Tea. Like, 2 of my cousins own Black Tea. You know what I mean? One of my cousins, young Shone, and my other cousin, Carla, they own Black Tea. Before he did the remix with Bun B and Jeezy, 2 of my cousins owned it, my bad.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it was like, we been knew each other, you know what I mean? Then I ended up going to prison. When I went to prison, that's when they dropped So Icy and shit like that, and his shit started taking off. So we already had a personal relationship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I want to take a step back. You mentioned your cousin. I had told you, like, behind the scenes that I was familiar.
Yeah.
I had heard you, but I think you was going by, like, Lil Kurt then.
Yeah, I was Lil Kurt. I'm Lil Kurt. That's my name, Lil Kurt.
Young Shone. So I was saying Young Shone. It's Young Shone.
Some folks say Young Shone, but it's Young Shone.
Okay.
S-H-O-N-E.
The E always got me with this. I'm thinking Shone.
It's Young Shone.
Yeah, but he was messing around in Chattanooga, man.
Yeah, see, I got a cousin, one of my cousins from Miami, Julio, and he had a label called Big South Entertainment, and that's like one of the first people who I was around, you know what I mean, real young, and he had me, Shone, my cousin Carla, my brother Dre. He had White Boy Q-Ball. Q is from Tennessee. Yeah, Q-Ball Selena. You know, Q was doing most of the beats and shit, you know what I mean? And yeah.
So that's what surprised me, man. I think they updated the track list and it switched from your name saying Lil Kurt to Alley Boy.
Yeah.
Just because you had got that new fame.
Yeah.
But back then, like, so you been rapping, man, but you one of the few people I hear still mention his name, keep his name alive.
Yeah.
I know Young Shone.
Yeah, that Young Shone, like, my real brother.
But talk about, I mean, he represented Zone 6. This is before, like, Gucci.
Edward, yeah.
Man,
like,
you know, Gucci's like the face.
In our hood, excuse me, in our hood, my cousin, he legendary. Like, he was like one of the only niggas that had like a full CD. You know what I mean? Like a full, real CD that the whole hood listening to and shit, you know what I mean? And he legendary in the hood, but he ended up, you know, he had sickle cell. And he ended up passing away when he was 32. But I had just got out of prison, and we were pushing the duct tape shit. And I say I got out of prison in 2000, at the end of 2005, October. He died in 2007. So that shit was hard on me. You know what I mean? Like, when he passed, it was like one of my brothers died. So that shit kind of fucked with me. But it motivated me, like, man, I need to go hard. Because it what cuz want me on, you know what I mean? Like, he really, like, musically one of the masterminds behind me. Like, he gave me direction, like, for rapping, like, really rapping, saying some storytelling and shit, you know what I mean? Like, he was all that. So, I really get a lot of shit from him, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of I get my craft from watching him.
So he was one of the people that inspired you or influenced
the most.
you. Man, did he like ever sit down and actually like go like bar for bar with you writing all that, or was it more so just giving you game?
Nah.
You writing with
Nah, you know, I knew how to write on my own. He showed me structure. More like D-minute bars and type shit, like count bars and shit, and writing and shit. But I kind of always knew how to write, you know what I mean? So he never had to, excuse me, bro.
Yeah,
I've been up.
Yeah,
so goddamn, he ain't never had to give me no words or nothing like that. But just really structure on how to structure a song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just ideas and shit, like where to go with shit. But I just automatically pick it up from watching him. Cause he had so much music, he be dropping so much shit.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? He gave me my work ethic for writing and shit. Like always writing and shit, you know what I mean? Like right now I don't even write nothing on paper. But back then we used to write like hell, you know what I mean? But I don't write no more.
Do you got one of your, so you said he passed away in 07.
Yep.
You got out late 05.
Yep.
So that gap, did you have an opportunity to make some more music with him and kick it with him?
Yeah. Yeah.
So talk about, do you still have like any memories from that time period, man? Did you have an idea that his health was declining?
He been like kind of sickly all his life. Yeah. He always had sickle cell. He got his spleen took out when he was like 10. You know what I mean? But he always been around us. My auntie died when he was young. Like when he was like 11, my auntie passed. So he was always with us. You know what I mean? Like that's like my brother. So man, when I got out of prison, he was right there. That's who right there with me, like every step of the way. With me recording every day. He jumping on songs, we doing songs and shit together and shit like that. So when he passed, that shit was a lot, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was a lot.
Were you actually around him?
Yeah. Yeah. I seen him right before he went in the hospital. I had him roll past him. He was like somewhere talking to his girl. And I rolled up on him like, hey, where da type shit. And shit, the next day, my brother called me like, man, you need to come down to the hospital. Shone down here, man. They talking about this shit ain't looking good. He had an aneurysm in his head.
Next day.
You know, the very next day. I ain't know that, but he always been kind of sickly all his life. Like, sometimes he'll be over my mama's house, just be sleep all day. You know, this her nephew, so she know how he is. And she'll be telling him, like, man, you need to go check on yourself and shit, you know what I mean? And he'll be sleep, like, all day and shit, not feeling good and shit. So, but we ain't never see that coming, though.
Yeah. I heard you say in a song that you missed his laugh. That he missed, he had like a certain laugh.
I wish Shone was still here just to see him laugh.
Yeah.
I hope to God forgive my sin when this gangster passed. Yeah. Cause he had a silly ass laugh. Like he laughed, it's just like a real silly, like like a real silly ass laugh. And that shit, he wanna know his laugh contagious. Like if he laughing about some shit, you don't even gotta know what he laughing about. But how hard he laughing, you'll start laughing and shit.
Be one of them, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that nigga was like an angel, bro, on earth, bro, cause he was just harmless, bro. He ain't mean nobody no harm. He always was just positive, like just cool as fuck, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. to him, man. He definitely had that ATL Fighter Slicker. I remember that album.
That nigga raw. We still listen to that shit.
That crack cocaine song.
Never let crack cocaine hit the street.
Yeah.
Storytelling, bro. You know what I mean? Like
he was different.
He was classic with that shit.
Back then though, like he was ahead of his time.
Yeah. Like to me, he was on like 8 Ball and MJG them level.
That type of vibe.
Back then, you know what I mean? So I'm glad, you know what I mean, I was able to experience them throughout my life. Yeah. And to have that type of influence around me, you know what I mean?
I definitely want to mention him during the interview because a lot of people may not be familiar But I heard you mention him, but hopefully they'll go back and do their research, man. It's just unfortunate. I don't even think, did he do any interviews or anything?
You know, it wasn't no internet back then.
It wasn't like that.
Nah.
They still had the video.
It wasn't no interviews and shit back then. It wasn't no YouTube and all that shit.
07. So
yeah. And, you know,